now herald the release of the Wiles Files. Now, a Lippmann fake news term meaning later. Perhaps after discussing the soft, warm, and cuddly invasion of Venezuela.
2 ISIS fanboys killed 16 Hanukkah celebrants in Sydney, Australia. One was tackled and disarmed by a Syrian Aussie fruit vendor. Western civilization's arbiter of relative morality, MAGA, are divided over whether praising a Syrian indirectly strengthens ISIS, or, on the other hand, whether ISIS is controlled by Antifa. The government down under said they will strengthen gun control. Guns First adherents countered that the problem is not guns, it's the government's endorsement of a Palestinian state. Jury still out. White House chief empathist DJT explains that Rob and Michelle Reiner brought murder on themselves due to their affliction with TDS. Trump trumpeted a response blaming the dread disease for the libtard's demise, and many of me are speculating he may be trying to purposely alienate some GOP-nicks to flush out rhinos and sometimes Trumpers. Then again, my speculator's license is, totally expired.
Let me just tell you, you are an obnoxious, a terrible reporter.
Iranian authorities are beating Nobel Peace Laureate Narges Mohammadi straight into the ER. In response, the anarchist-leaning group All Governments Are Bad accused Iran of competing with Israel in the Treatment of Dissidents Olympics. Israeli spokes countered that dissidents in Israel are free to campaign as long as they refrain from being Palestinians. Russia and China did not return requests for comment. The contractor that built the Alligator Alcatraz deportation theme park is in the lead to rebuild Gaza. Logically, since their specialization is displacing persons. It comes out at a congressional grilling of the FBI that Antifa not only doesn't exist, but it has no headquarters. It does, however, cause measles. Pirates are back. Well, just Donald Trump. Arr, he steals oil tankers at the drop of his name. Some have called him a garbage pirate. Others differ, saying he's just low IQ. Either way, Donald Trump and company have seized a Venezuelan oil tanker, calling it a judicial enforcement action on a stateless vessel. Of course, the enforcement wasn't judicial, and the vessel wasn't stateless. But then, the Venezuelan cartel Nicolas Maduro leads doesn't exist, and Maduro doesn't lead it. This may lead one to wonder, if I hold a mirror up to everything these Neanderthals say, will I get to the truth of the matter? You might have to run the tape backwards through a lie detector. Or just add the word "not" to every phrase in the press release. We can all exhale. Sans Serif Calibri has been dislodged from its DEI post at the State Department in favor of Real American font Times New Roman. Calibri was, of course, a Biden font. The sleepy yet evil non-genius had brought in Calibri as a sop to undeserving low-vision readers, who are not real Americans. China's national security folks called in foreign journalists to receive a warning, telling them, "Do not say you have not been warned," specifically to stop interfering with elections. Interfering, national security lingo for reporting. Authorities are anxious that the recent Hong Kong tower fire may cause citizens to act like citizens, which is always a problem and is always caused by foreigners. The EPA has removed human activity as a cause of climate change from its websites. That's right, human activity no longer caused climate collapse. God did it. Also, the Industrial Revolution apparently did not happen. Donald Trump is borderline insane, and his financial disclosures were 100 pages of nonsense. So said Trump expert Jeffrey Epstein in 2018. Such revelations have been dismissed by Caroline Leavitt as a clear distraction, leaning into her area of expertise. Workaday Republic Party members have weighed in on the murders of drug mules and/or fisherfolk in the Caribbean, with comments such as, "I'm not losing any sleep. I don't feel much sympathy. If we take them to courts, we'll have to pay for that. And if you're doing bad things against society, you should die." While all these comments reflect strong support for the rule of law and due process, or not, they also reflect a strong need to have an enemy, usually a weak one we can bomb, just like in a real video game. Which leaves us with a question. Is it now 1933 or 1938? Addendum to the Kill Everybody war crime. In 1944, a German sub destroyed a Greek merchant ship and fired on the survivors for hours. The Nazis were later captured and tried for war crimes. The judge advocate opined that to fire so as to kill helpless survivors of a torpedoed ship was a grave breach of the laws of nations. Just saying. On the other hand, the average American family of 4 kills one other human being over the course of their lifetimes due simply to their carbon emissions. Just saying. Part 2. In a Maryland county that voted for DJT by 40 points, FEMA aid for a massive flood has been denied. Bill Kenny, 82, said people thought Trump would be for the little person, because that's what he said. Bill, don't people understand that it's Opposites Day when Trump is in town? Anyway, the aid request was rejected because the state voted for Harris by 30 points. 3 red states got the aid. 3 blue ones, not so much. Or just not. At this point, comparing Trump to a king might just insult kings.